Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to day 5 of Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And today's fun sketch, exclusive sketch, is up here in the corner as it always is, and it is by Donna Esmiol. I hope I'm saying that correctly, and whatever information I have about Donna's socials, whether it be YouTube or Instagram or both, I will of course put them down below along with the playlist. So we have 3 small photos, and I have these 3 black and white photos. So this is going to go in my sort of very early years album, and sort of in the prequel section, because this is during my parents' honeymoon. So I'm going to have a companion page to this which has photos of my mom. But if I recall correctly, they went to Lake George, and these photos were taken in 1953. So my dad, this is sort of the guest house or small hotel type thing where they were staying, and another one of my dad. So he's sort of looking a little bit this, so I think I'm going to place him this way as he's looking in with both of these photos, and then the house is straight on. Now I cut these photos down. Well, no, I did not cut them down. They're the size that they were, but there was a white border with them, but it was one of these odd, very odd borders. It was like a weird scallop, and it of course had yellow. So I think I'm going to back them on white cardstock because they do need to pop. They're not very good photos, but they need to be. I want them in the album, so I'm just going to go with it, and I'll talk a little bit about, you know, where they were, how long they were, all that good stuff. So I have my 3 photos. Now, I'm playing today with Flea Market, the leftovers from a class I took with Scrapbook and Cards today, one of the Crop and Create classes back from, I think it was April in 2023. And you will see, but only in a few days, what I finally did with that class. I worked on it just a couple of weeks ago and over a few days. But these are the leftovers that I have from that kit. So I'm going to work with that. Then I think I want the photos to pop. So I have brought in this Bella Boulevard Besties, and I think for the smaller, sort of that matte in the sketch, I'm going to use this Bella Boulevard Besties, and I'm going to put that there so that the photos pop a little bit more. All right, so that is where we're going to go with that. Now, then there's a larger piece in the background, and I'm debating whether I use this gorgeous paper and bring in a lot of the turquoise, but there is some pink in there, so sort of the aqua and the turquoise, that would be quite nice. Or whether I go with this one, which might be a little bit more subtle. So I'm I think I'm leaning towards this one, although I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I do think this would be quite nice as well. You know, I think it would be bolder. And then if I did that, the one strip sort of on the bottom, I could use this paper, could I? Or would I use this one then as the narrower, longer sheet? That might be a way to do it. So anyway, I think I'm going to bring these 2 in. And then I have this in the size that it is, and this might be a good one for that full strip that goes along the side. So that is sort of where I'm going with all of this at the moment. Now I have a couple of other bits back here that might be nice as well. I might want, if, you know, depending on how much of this paper I use, I might want to bring in some of this gorgeous golden yellow. So we'll see. But those are my first thoughts. I'm going to use white cardstock, and I'm going to back it or frame the white cardstock with one of these too. And I think it might be this lovely, this is from my collection Obsession from this month. And this might be just a little bit too much pink. So I think I might be using this to sort of back everything. Then I have, there's some florals in here, which I think will be nice. Bring those in. And we have some tags. So there's sort of this tag maybe, and then I had put a couple of other tags aside here that I've cut out that I might want to use as well for the tags that are at the top. For the circular elements, I could use, these are plates that I had fussy cut, so I might want to use those. We'll see. And then I have some of these fun florals that I might want to bring in. I think I might, yeah. This is not the same pink. Now, this has sort of that corally color in it as well, but it's got the pink, so I think that would work. Not sure about this. I think I'll put that on the side, maybe bring in the leaf. This floral will work, these little smaller florals will work. And then there are a couple of big ones, so I think this one, I think I like that. I'm going to bring that one in. Don't think so, and maybe that one. So we'll see. I'm going to put these aside. There we go. So I've got some die cuts there that I think I can use. Now I don't know what the title is going to be. I don't know if there's anything in the foam stickers. Is there anything in the foam stickers that I could use as the title? Amazing, maybe delightful, but it's in that green. I don't think I have that color in there anywhere. So cute. No, discover, maybe discover. Maybe discover could be good. Yes, please. Don't know, amazing could be, and I might bring in some of these florals, but I'm leaning at the moment towards this discover, so I need to make sure I have enough of that golden yellow in there. Anyway, my friends, so we have a start here. Let me go off and get the photos down and decide on which paper, so get that structure sorted out, and then I will come back and we will embellish this together. See you just in a few seconds. Okay, my friends, so let me get some of this stuff over here and we'll see where we're at. All right, so I decided to go with the gorgeous blue paper here to frame my layout, and I did gut some of that because I'm going to use it again. I have a challenge coming up that will be quite useful for. I did that, and then as I decided to ink the edges of my white cardstock, which I cut down to, I think, 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. I sort of like a little bit of a bigger border, and I inked all the edges with weathered wood, and then did the same thing with all the pattern papers that I chose. So I decided to go more into the blues, but I will bring in that golden yellow a little bit. We'll see that in a few moments. And because it's pattern on pattern, and I'm sort of getting used to doing that, I'm trying to channel some of my friends who are so amazing at pattern on pattern. You know, Nicole, Jenny, Scylla. They just do amazing stuff, and so many others with pattern on pattern. I'm trying to get a little bit better at that, get a little bit bolder. So here we go. So I have my photos that I did. Yeah, I matted in the white, then on the pink. This is pretty much almost a 6x8 page, and then the lovely blues, turquoises, and aquas here. So, and I inked all of these edges in the weathered wood distress oxide. So let's get that down. So I'm a little bit of a frog in my throat, my friends. I haven't spoken yet today, It's not that early. I mean, I've been up, I've done all the things I need to do to get ready for the day. I've had my breakfast, done the dishes, but I haven't spoken out loud today. So it's a little bit lower than center. So I'm going to do that. There we go. So we'll get that one down. Now, this to find its place, and this is a little bit higher than center, and it's sort of over here. So I think I'm going to put it sort of like that because it's more to the left for sure. So I think I'm going to use that line to line it up. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so let's get this one down. This is a fun sketch. I think I'm going to come back to it. It's a great sketch to use up scraps or bits because there's really, other than the background, you don't need any full size 12 by 12. So it's a great one for scraps. So let's get that down. There we go. Then we have this lovely long strip, and let's see where that's going to go. And that goes on. Mine is not quite in Donna's sketch. It goes to the very edge, but I just used this scrap in the size that it was, so it's not quite. So let me see. I'm going to want to put this about here, like that. And then this will go under here, sort of like this. So there we go. So I'm going to put that sort of here. Does that fit? Well, bring it over and put that up a little bit so that I have it straight. There we go. Okay, let's bring that in there. Get that down. So we seem to have turned a corner, and we're getting some nice weather. We've had a couple of hot days, but not too bad. Nothing like my friends in the UK and France are going through. I've been watching. I'm recording this way in advance, and I've been watching some of the French Open tennis, and oh my God, it's been so crazy hot there. So I'm recording this. We are the 28th or so of May, and then get my photos down. So there we go, and then that is the main part of the layout. Get that there, and that is pretty much centered. There we go. All right, so now, we need a little bit of embellishing down here. And down here you can see that Donna sort of has like a border, a scallop border, as if she had used like a border punch or a border sticker. I had this scrap on my desk, and it had been torn from one of the layouts that you get, and it's not wide enough to go here. But then if I bring in some of the embellishment, oh, and my title, I think I'm going to use this as my title here, Discover, which I said I wanted to use. So I do think I want to definitely use that as my title. See, so my thought is I can bring this down here, and then there's some circular elements here that would be, or I could use a nice floral. Ooh, how about if we did that? Oh, I kind of like that. Now that's floral on floral though, but I'm getting bolder, and so that could be nice. Otherwise, if I don't do that, I then have, and if I was truer to the sketch, I could do something like this, and have these circular elements that I could pop there. Yeah, but you know what? It's odd. I think I sort of like the floral, but then I might bring in a couple of these elements. I kind of like the floral. Bring it here and pop it up. And then maybe I could pop, sort of pop that there. And this one. I think I like that. Okay, let's pop this up. I'm going to let's make the decisions. Let's get them down. My dimensionals here. And then I'm not going to put too much up here so that I have room to pop things underneath if I want to, as I said I was going to try and do. There we go. Oh, I need to get that down too, don't I? Now, I should probably ink that. I didn't bring my little dauber over here. So let's see if I can just ink it directly with the ink pad. Let's just do that. Let's just ink it directly with the ink pad. Oh yeah, that works. I've seen a few people, I've never done that. I'm always afraid that it's going to damage the ink pad. But there we go. One little cheat. Okay, so we have that inked up so that it's the same as everything else. There we go. Let's get that down. Okay, and pop it up a fair amount. I can pop it up a little bit more. Just need a little bit of that showing. There we go. And then let's get our floral down here. There we go. And then let's get the floral the way I wanted it, sort of like here. There we go. Now the other thing I could do is maybe pop in a couple of these hearts. Would that be cute, popped in there? You know what? That would be, wouldn't it? Okay, and then I could do this pink, and then there was this green, but I don't, well, there is this green in there. So if I sort of did that. Yeah, but you see, I only want the one. Yeah, because they don't nest nicely. So I think these might go elsewhere. All right, let's come back to the idea of this. Popping that in there. Yeah, so my cluster will be a little bit bigger. And then... see, we sort of have this. Do I want to maybe pop this fun yellow one in there? And yeah, I think I do. And we'll put one pop dot on there so that it's a little bit raised. And then maybe I'll put one of the hearts in there. So that will give me the little cluster down here, and then maybe just pop that heart there so that there's something, or here. maybe I need the green. I need the one that's a little bit bigger, I think. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to leave that there for now. Okay, now, up here, Donna has some tags. So let me see. I've got my tags here that I put out that I could put up here in the corner. And I'm looking, and I've got some pink twine that I brought that I could maybe put that. Let me get my title down. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't. I should probably put the tags first. Now, do I want pink? That's pink on pink. This is quite light. So how about if I went, oh, maybe. Let's see. And together with a darker blue. And I'm going to try and save this camera because I think I'm going to cut it out. Ooh. Let's see if I just pop that there. And then this there with our Discover. Bring these over a little bit. I'll get my Discover. There we go. Yeah, and that sort of pops right there. And then just maybe pop one floral, bring another floral sort of up here kind of thing in here. Let's get these down. Now I'm going to bring this right over, I think, to the edge. Here, wasn't it here? Yeah, and I'm even going to pop it down the side a little bit. And then this darker, lovely, lovely teal, bring it over here. And then my Discover nestles perfectly in there. Oh, this needs some more glue. A little bit more adhesive. Let's pop that right in there, Discover. There we go. Put that on the side. And then I need a little something up here in that corner. Now, that's a big floral down there. I don't think I want to bring, I do have another large floral, but I definitely don't think it belongs. That's way, yeah, way too big. But now, do I want maybe a couple of these little circles, maybe something like this? And a floral on top of that. And then we can pop one of the little hearts. We can pop the little hearts, one heart here. Like that. In the pink. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll pop that down. And then I think, my friends, I think that's going to do it. I mean, I'll put my, I won't make you watch me put my thread. I will do that. Where did my other, where did it go? Oh, there it is, right there. Now, do I want that popped up? No, put it under there because we have, there we go. And then we'll have that right in there, and then I'll put my thread in, and then that sort of gives a nice little bit of a diagonal. And I could put, I probably will, I'll maybe put a little journaling label here. Let's see, is there anything on the stickers that I might want to pop in there? My treasures, noteworthy. This is delightful. How about this is delightful? Yeah, I think that might be nice. This is delightful. Let's, oh, not straight. Try and put that straight. Oh, well, there we go. How wonderful, the best, precious, a lovely time. My favorite, always making new happy memories. well, this was the first. This was, as I mentioned before, this was my parents' honeymoon, so it's not really always. These are the days. I don't think there's time for any, there's room for any of the larger ones. I'm just trying to see if there couldn't be something else. The best day. The best day could be cute. You know, just sitting around relaxing. The best day. And then if I have the two here, I want another one. A moment in time. A lovely time. I don't want any of the orange because there's no orange. Now this is very yellow, but it might be okay. And it is. There we go. All right. Okay, my friends, I think that's it. I'll see if I need any dots. I'll put my twine in. You'll see that at the end. And that will take care of Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, Day 5. So thank you so much for being with me. The playlist is down below. As always, use the hashtag 30DSCBL21 for us to find you or to find us. And I will be back here very, very soon. Not sure about tomorrow, but I will be back here on Sunday for sure. See you soon, friends. Bye for now.